Five Borough Wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. All In was a great show from the American Legion in Brooklyn, New York. The show kicks off with the Bad Apple Matt McIntosh defeating Danny Moff in a very good matchup, which saw McIntosh take numerous chops to the point where he was just about red as a beet. Then up in what was billed as the Christopher Beckett Invitational, the undeniable Jack Gallo defeated Maria Manic, Brandon Watts, and Ace Austin in a very good four-way matchup. And next there was a women's match. Actually out came Ariella Nix, who is, I don't know if she's assistant GM of FBW or just the assistant to the Christopher Beckett, but she came out and announced to the crowd that at the next show, which will be on Friday, October 20th, appearing will be Sue Young and Katarina Lee, until she's interrupted by the boy diva Rick Cataldo, and he comes out saying he's going to bring Terry Runnels October 20th. And she, of course, talked about Nix. She wanted to bring the women's division, or just revitalize the women's division in FBW, and Cataldo kept disrupting her. But we had ourselves a women's matchup as we saw Chris Statlander defeat Catred, the Clockwork Angel. And up next we had a no disqualification match pitting the Devil's Outlaw Stockade and Cyrus DeVille against the Rancid One, Bam Sullivan and Logan Black. Now these guys, they brought I don't know if those were like looked like small pizza pans they were using. I had to put on my voice of the late Dusty Rhodes on that one. They were, at one point, Cyrus had a glove with thumbtacks attached to it. We saw thumbtacks placed on the mat. 6 cinder blocks were coming into play. But while Stockade and Bam were brawling on the floor, Stockade took hold of my new megaphone, and he went to yell into Bam's ear. However, Stockade, I don't know if Stockade watches this, but Stockade hits this button right here, and the batteries came flying out. Had come flying out of it. And they were scattered all onto the floor, and one of them actually went underneath the ring. Now, Stockade, I don't know if you watch this, but next time you get your hands on this, you hit this button. Over here's the volume control, and then you speak into it. Please don't hit this one again. I don't want to end up going home with one lost battery or more than one lost battery. As the match went on, I think Logan eventually pinned Cyrus to help his team become victorious. And obviously, after all of that, they did have intermission at that point. All right. They returned from intermission. Out come the Elements, Pyro, Pulse, and Iceberg, and they talked about that they defeated Force in a 6-man tag at the last show, and they felt they deserve a shot at the Tag Team Championship. Out comes PJ Stackpole with the Tag Team Champions, AJ Spectre and Bear Bronson, and Stackpole tells them, hey, you know what? We're going to pick your opponent, not only pick your opponents tonight, but we're also going to pick your partner. Bronson goes back to the curtain, and he comes out, drags CPA out to the ring. Then, out come their opponents, and it was King Mega, Juba, and Chris Benet. And the match was on. The Elements and CPA managed to defeat Chris Benet, King Mega, and Juba. I don't know if they'll end up getting a tag team title match coming up. Next up, we saw Jorge Santi accompanied to the ring by Danny D'Amanto. Prior to Santi's match with Talon, D'Amanto, I don't know if he got on the microphone or not, but he ended up joining the commentary table, and the match was on, and Talon defeated Jorge Santi and dared D'Amanto to come in and fight him right then and there. Next up, we saw Denny Gavin defeat AJ Spectre, and after the match, Spectre and Bear Bronson did a number on Gavin, leaving him laying. And actually, I think he was laying on the floor at the end of the match. And then a main event, which may have been an unprecedented triple threat match where 3 different championships from 3 different promotions were on the line. We saw the Man of Steel Mike Verna take on Wrestling's Richest Prize Darius Carter and Anthony Gangone, who was accompanied by PJ Stackpole. Now, did this matchup eventually... Well, actually, I think just as the match got underway, Bear Bronson and AJ Spectre attacked Verna. And then I think eventually they attacked Carter. And eventually the referee ejected Bronson and Spectre from the ring. And I know eventually Verna... I think PJ Stackpole prevented Verna from winning, and Verna grabs him and gives him a Death Valley driver, and I think Gangone at that point capitalized, and Gangone ended up pinning Verna, winning the match. As a result, Gangone is the new FBW Heavyweight Champion, and Gangone ended up retaining his House of Glory Crown Jewel Championship. Okay, personal notes time. It was great seeing Mike McNicholas, John Verdi, or is it Verdi, Dom, Jason Bob 87, Kevin, Thomas Zambito, Thomas Scuderi, Danielle, Mark, Brett, I don't know, this is maybe one of the tightest run FBW shows ever. We only had 8 matches on this show. Well, Five Borough Wrestling returns with For the People on Friday night, October 20th at the American Legion in Brooklyn. Already announced, the Man of Steel, Mike Verna, will go one-on-one with former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Jack Swagger. As previously mentioned, Terry Runnels, Katarina Lee, and Sue Young are appearing. And returning to FBW that night will be Croatian sensation Mario Bukara and the pro wrestling savior JT Dunn. You know, I forgot to mention, with by virtue of Gangone's title win, Force has all the championships at FBW right now. But what I'd like to see for the people on Friday, October 20th, I would like to see the Elements challenge AJ Spectre and Bear Bronson for the tag team title. I'd like to see... Yeah, I'm guessing it might be Logan Black challenging Anthony Green for the Heavyweight Championship after Gangone disrupted Logan in his interview after the show. Now, can't remember like what else I would like to see at this one. Oh, Thomas Scuderi, that was a lovely young lady that was sitting at the show with you. And, and yeah, Denny Gavin's, well, what should I say, the Denny Domain, you know, they were really basically, you know, creaming their pants over Gavin for his matchup. I mean, I know... I mean, you know, if Denny didn't go on that deep into the card, you probably would have left earlier. Just like most of you left after United We Stand back in July when he had his match right before intermission, and you didn't stay for the rest of the show because by the end of intermission you were all gone. And even though they probably didn't notice, but I did write on my drawing board, Denny Domain equals not real wrestling fans. But one wrestling fan I did notice is Daniel Ethan of the Wrestling Snobs. Joey, unfortunately, was not there. I was hoping he could have been there, too, because I know Daniel did a video with someone else about the show. I got to watch that one again. But, yeah, can't wait for October 20th as they present For the People. And I'm sure definitely going to be another great night of wrestling.